Dance Space Fan. Dance Space Fan.
Are we on?
Check one, two.
Check one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dance Space Van, and the amazing, fabulous Ron Sexsmith is on the show today. Someone we've been trying to get on for a while now.
Well, I've been wanting to do the show forever, so thanks for coming out this way. It's amazing.
I wanted to show you something. Where is it? I found this last night. I was digging through, and I found this. You know this, obviously, but look at this.
Oh my God! Oh, look at that.
To Danny.
Yeah.
This is, you signed this for me just to show how long I've been a fan.
31
years ago.
Well, I was 31 there.
Do you still play songs? Oh, like this is where it all started. Secret Heart.
Yeah.
Lebanon, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Oh. Is Pretty Little Cemetery on this record?
Second album.
That's on the second record. God,
Yeah.
I love that song.
Well, I remember early on around the time I first met you, I can't remember what it was, but you'd recorded a song of mine called "It Never Fails."
Yeah.
For
I didn't know what I was doing back then.
No, but it was so cool
I'm
because you
embarrassed by
picked that one because that's one that, nobody ever requests that song, And
That's a beautiful song.
thank you. I think for me back then, because I was still figuring out how to do it, and whenever I learned a weird chord, that would be in my next song. And so,
Right.
so that song had kind of this weird, I don't know if it's a flat five or whatever it is. That's my own little seat. That's my body of work, basically. And,
Yes.
those
So I
ones-
think 18 records now, right?
Yeah. So it's almost a year old. It's called Hangover Terrace, and we've been touring. I kind of have I guess you could say, a cult following everywhere. Like I'm not big anywhere, but I can go and sort of fill whatever room. In the bigger cities, I can maybe pull in some more people. Yeah. But it's just
that's the dream, to be able to go all around the world and do that.
Yeah,
so.
but when I first got signed, it took me a while to have a career in my own country. You know what I mean? Like some people thought when I first came out, I was from England because that's where there was all this buzz or whatever you want to call it, but it just didn't work out the way for me. So it was kind of like that.
And a minute ago, you mentioned the pandemic, and when I came in, you showed me something in your garden that it was very interesting that got made during the pandemic.
Yeah. This is Colleen's Labyrinth that she made. I helped her with the bricks, but she made it during the pandemic. I just, that was at the particular time when people were making sourdough bread and they were dancing on TikTok, whatever.
Yeah,
and
I was hosting taco nights.
Yeah, and we were, everybody was on Zooms and things. It's like a meditational kind of thing, and I walk it every day. Except in the winter when you can't see it, So basically, what you do is you got to follow the path all the way until you get to the center, and then you have to come out the same way you went in.
You're known throughout the world as one of the great songwriters, and so I'm curious, what is in your record collection?
Okay, I'm old, so it's mostly old records, This is a really good album by Lowell George. It's one and only, I think it's his only solo album that he made before he died. And it's kind of underappreciated Dylan album, Street Legal. I always liked it. Sly and the Family Stone. Lovin' Spoonful, probably my favorite American 60s band. I just always loved those guys. This is a friend, Jennifer Foster. These are a lot of, like our friends' records and indie albums and things.
Oh, look at, I see English Settlement.
Yeah, I played that the other night.
Fantastic record.
You know, I'm an elderly person, so my records tend to be from a certain era. You know, I'm very happy about the time period that I came up in.
Yeah.
It's a very melodic period of music, and radio just seemed really magical as a kid, you know, and so I think in some ways, and also my childhood as well. If you were playing road hockey, someone had a transistor radio on the curb. You know, there was always music playing. So that's reflected in my collection. You know, there's a lot of British music because I loved the Beatles and the Kinks and all those bands. And this is Boz Scaggs, who I saw. My very first concert was Elton John. He was my first kind of superstar. You know, I was a member of his fan club when I was
and now a
10 years old.
A friend of yours.
A friendly acquaintance, perhaps. Yeah, I mean, I find, you know, I've met so many of my heroes, and I wouldn't call really any of them my friends. Really, you know, they've just been nice to me, but with Elton, it was kind of surreal for a while because, I mean, he's having trouble, you know, with his eyes these days. But there was a period where, you know, we were kind of emailing back and forth sometimes,
cool.
And which is just like crazy,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You know?
Joe Jackson, Night and Day. Great record, eh?
Yeah, I love this.
Love that record.
And these are just like they're here, they're over there too. See,
yeah.
But these, see us in. This is mostly my Zevon collection because during the pandemic, all I listened to was Zevon. I love Laura Nero. Yeah, see, there's Warren's first one, and wow, what's that? Anyway, there's more Warren. But yeah, during the pandemic, it was such a strange time, and I mostly, for some reason, it was his music made me feel kind of like heroic or something, you know, because I don't know if you know his music, but he's very kind of, his sense of humor it's very kind of like, I don't know, he's got this swashbuckling kind of vibe about him. He's like a pirate. And I don't know, I just wanted to listen to World. I probably drove Calling Up the Wall. Oh, there's another XTC one. You might
Skylarking.
Yeah, Barks, Kinks. I got a lot of Kinks records. There's my hero Ray Davies there. For me, Ray was the guy that made me want to be a songwriter. I always wanted to be a singer, even though I didn't really have a good voice, you know, growing up. But he was the guy that I thought, well, you know, if I could do that, you know, because he was kind of like John Lennon and McCartney in one person. He had the melody of McCartney and Lennon's kind of wit, and so I don't know. He's always loomed pretty large in my songwriting, you know. But for me too, you know, I played in the bars for years. As soon as I got out of high school, just as a cover, you know, song guy, right? Doing everyone's, you know, it was a great education for me to learn so many songs. And also I wasn't even old enough to be in a bar, so I had to get permission. But just to be in a room playing for drunks mostly, and it was a really good education for me.
Well, for sure. I mean, I did the cover band thing too, and it's like there's something great about when you sit down and you learn like 10 of the world's greatest songs. You learn, it's like learning a recipe for cooking. You learn a bunch of little tricks, and that's where you find that chord and go, oh my God, you can put that chord there.
Yeah.
And
No, and also too, just being up on stage and, you know, you're playing and you're you know, you realize, oh, I'm losing them. Okay, I better do this one.
Right.
So a lot of that was just, just all kind of, all these, you know, lessons, valuable lessons I learned back then. If you heard cassettes of me at that time, I sound like the Cookie Monster because I was blowing my voice out every night, you know, trying to sing over all the smoke and everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I had so much nervous energy, and I think at the time it was attractive because I was packing men in my hometown for about 2 years straight until I kind of wore out my welcome there. But it was really I really look back affectionately at that period because it was the first time I ever felt popular, first time girls ever looked in my direction and things like this. So it was an exciting time, you know.
Well, speaking of all these great songs, would you do us the honor of playing one of them in Dan's Space Van and maybe tell us what song you're going to do?
Yeah. Should I do an older one? Like I mean, we've been talking about older ones, right?
I've got a list I'd love to hear, but I want you to...
well, maybe you mentioned Pretty Little Cemetery.
Pretty Little Cemetery has got to be the most beautiful song in the world to me.
And I can give you the backstory if you want, or do I do that later? I don't know. of that song.
Tell us now and then play it.
Well, this song, when I first moved...
I'm thrilled that you're going to do that.
Yeah. No, it's an easy one to sing at this time of the day, too, because there's not a lot of high notes. But what was I going to say is...
May I say, there's an old couple on the bus sitting next to us. That part, yes, we know. My God. It's so... it's kind of funny and sad at the same time, which is a beautiful little moment.
Well, it's funny about that bridge is when, I was working with Mitchell Froome on all my first 3 albums, and he was very much like George Martin. He was very much into the structure of songs in this, and he wanted me to lose that bridge.
Oh,
yeah, and he goes, I don't think this song needs that bridge. I think it's fine just with the 3 verses, and back then, I didn't really feel my opinion meant very much, but I'm really glad I stood up for that bridge, because I was like, well, I kind of like it because it, as a bridge should, it takes you somewhere else,
I'm glad you did it. Yeah.
And so actually years later, he told me he was happy that I kind of fought for that bridge, because that really happened. That was actually a snapshot from life.
Okay. Colleen says you do a good Cookie Monster.
No, she's mistaken. I used to put on puppet plays in primary school, and I had all the Muppets. I had Grover. I didn't have Cookie Monster, but I had Grover.
Okay.
So
Grover,
I have to channel this. Hey everybody! That's about. I could do that, right? Although you might want to edit that. I used to do Ernie as like rubber ducky, you're the like stuff like that. So I could do all the Sesame Street. I'm first generation Sesame Street, right? Yeah. And that show was so ahead of its time, right? And years ago, we went and got the first season on DVD, Sesame Street, and on the front there was a label that said "Not suitable for children."
Well,
hey, me?
Yeah, come here.
What?
Come here.
Because it was a different time, and there was and I thought that was interesting, because I thought it did a wonderful job of raising kids, at the time. Oh, that's me and my son when he was just small. When I was just small.
Look at that nice car, too.
Yeah, I'm like 22 there, so, yeah. Well, the story is when I first moved to Toronto, my son was 2 years old, and it was pretty dire. We didn't have any money. We had this awful basement apartment for the first month that we were in Toronto, and it was right across the street from a cemetery. It was actually a big cemetery, but little cemetery, pretty cemetery. Didn't really sound that good. But we used to go my son and I used to go for walks through the park when he was really, 2 years old. And, kids, they have all these questions, and there was actually one tombstone that was for a kid that was, I think in the song it's 4 years old, and it had a little lamb on it. And he was really especially, at that young age, like he knew there were, dead people under the ground, and he had so many uncomfortable questions about, what does this mean? What happens? And it's, as a dad, it's really kind of, how do you answer those sort of questions, But so that's when I started. I think I wrote the whole song on the streetcar to work, actually. Pretty little cemetery on a summer's day, walking with my family, stopping on the way to read the epitaphs and wonder at the graves. Pretty little cemetery on a summer's day. Pretty little monument beneath a shady tree for a little boy who died in 1943. Still in the air, this lingering grief. Pretty little monument beneath a shady tree. There's an old couple on the bus, sitting next to us, my boy and I. And pointing to the graveyard, my boy turns to the old man, says, "This is where you go to when you die. My papa told me so." The old man said, "Yes, we know." Pretty little cemetery, hear the bells ring. When the night falls, it's a very different thing. Outside the gate, there's a woman looking in. Pretty little cemetery, hear the bells ring. Yeah, mon plaisir. Hope that was okay. Plugged in. All right, cool.
Dance spaceman. Dance spaceman. Dance spaceman. Dance spaceman.
Hey, what are you doing in here?